The hidden vision skills that control focus, memory, and learning. Most people think focus and memory are attention problems and that they inevitably decline because of aging. But very often, they're vision problems and directly related to the eye-brain connection. And they can be trained and improved. Hi, I'm Dr. Bryce Appelbaum. I'm a neuro-optometrist and I specialize in vision performance and functional vision care. Today, I want to talk about something that almost nobody explains. The hidden visual skills that quietly control focus, attention, reading, memory, learning, and mental fatigue. Because seeing 20/20 does not mean your visual system is working well. And when these skills are inefficient, the brain has to work much harder than it should. That's when learning feels harder, when concentration drops, fatigue builds, and most people never realize vision is part of the problem, and often a big part of the problem. Section number 1, seeing versus functioning. One of the biggest misunderstandings about vision is this. We think vision means how clearly can I read the letters on a chart, but that's only measuring eyesight. Vision is something very different and so much more complex. Vision is how the brain coordinates both eyes together, directs our movement, shifts focus, processes information, and interprets space. You can have perfect 20/20 eyesight and still struggle with focus, reading, learning, fatigue, memory, because those problems are rarely clarity problems, they're function problems. And here's what happens when function is inefficient. The brain compensates. It uses more effort, more attention, more energy, and over time, that extra effort shows up as poor concentration, short attention span, headaches and eye strain, slow reading, mental exhaustion. This is why many people say, I can see fine, but my brain feels so tired. Section 2, the core hidden vision skills. Now let me show you the 4 visual skills that control most of this. These are almost never tested in a standard eye exam, but they matter enormously. Skill number 1, binocularity. This is how well both eyes work together as a team. Your brain is supposed to put together one unified image from your 2 eyes. If alignment or eye coordination is slightly off, the brain has to suppress or ignore an eye's input, put in significant effort to fuse or merge the information coming in, or constantly correct. And that can create eye strain, headaches, double vision, motion sensitivity, fatigue. In kids, this often looks like a child who resists reading, avoids ball sports, has poor comprehension, short attention. In adults, it can be screen fatigue, headaches and blur, knocking things over, bumping into walls, difficulty concentrating. When eye teaming is inefficient, the brain spends energy just keeping vision single, clear, and comfortable. That energy pulls from attention and memory. Skill number 2, eye tracking. This is how your eyes smoothly follow movement or jump from one thing to another. Reading is a heavy tracking task. So is copying from a board. So is sports. So is driving. So is scrolling. When tracking is inefficient, you skip lines. You lose your place. You read slowly, you skip words, you reread constantly. Comprehension drops not because you or your child don't understand, but because the eyes can't guide the brain smoothly. Poor tracking looks like poor reading, but the problem is mechanical, not intellectual. Skill 3, focusing flexibility. This is how easily your eyes shift between near and far and how long they can hold focus at near. And by the way, the ability to focus the eyes is intimately related to the ability to focus the mind. And if you cannot control your eyes and their ability to focus, then you cannot control your mind and its ability to focus. Screens are brutal on this system. When focusing is inefficient, blur appears or things go into and out of focus. Eyes feel tight, transitions are slow, endurance is low. In kids, homework takes forever. Words are fuzzy or blurry. They act like they have ants in their pants with desk work, and there's often avoidance. In adults, screen fatigue, headaches, eye strain, decreased productivity throughout the workday, difficulty sustaining attention. When focusing is inefficient, the brain wastes energy just keeping things clear and stable. Skill 4, visual processing speed. This is how fast your brain interprets what the eyes send it. This affects reading speed and fluency, memory, comprehension, reaction time, learning efficiency. When processing is slow, kids take longer to understand things, fall behind in class, appear distracted, struggle on tests, prefer to be read to rather than reading on their own. And adults stress, mental overload, slow thinking, fatigue, brain fog, relying on audiobooks. Slow processing often looks like poor attention, but it's really poor visual efficiency. Section 3. How this shows up in real life. Now here's where this gets really interesting. These visual inefficiencies rarely show up as vision complaints. They show up as in kids, short attention span, learning difficulties, reluctance to reading, grades that don't even come close to reflecting intelligence or potential, behavioral issues, suspected ADD, ADHD, dyslexia, learning disabilities, even in some cases, autism spectrum disorders. In students, test fatigue, poor endurance, slow comprehension, anxiety around school, feelings of inadequacy and not being smart. In adults, screen burnout, work burnout, mental exhaustion, poor concentration, headaches, declining productivity, feeling mentally drained. And here's a very important point. Many people diagnosed with attention problems have visual inefficiencies that were never tested. That means, well, that does not mean vision causes everything, but it does mean if attention, learning, or memory feels harder than it should, vision should always be part of the evaluation and part of the discussion. Functional vision problems should always be ruled out first, because when the visual system is inefficient, the brain is forced to compensate, and compensation is exhausting. Section 4, can this change? Now the good news, the brain is highly plastic. These skills are learned, trainable, adaptable. With the right exercises and training and the right sequence of learning, we can improve eye coordination, tracking speed and accuracy, focusing endurance and flexibility, and processing speed. That often leads to better attention, more fluid decoding, reading and learning, improved memory, less fatigue and unnecessary struggling, and better academic and work performance. This is not magic. This is not instant. This is not for everyone. But when vision is part of the problem, training the visual system and the eye-brain connection can change everything. I want to leave you with one final thought here. Focus is directly related to the eye-brain connection. Memory is directly related to the eye-brain connection. Learning is directly related to the eye-brain connection. They are vision-dependent skills, and any brain at any age can be improved and optimized in terms of how the eyes and brain communicate with each other. And seeing clearly does not guarantee your visual system is working efficiently. If you or your child struggle with focus, learning, or fatigue, I encourage you to look beyond the eye chart and ask, how well does the visual system actually work? I've created a free guide that explains these skills and includes simple exercises you can try at home. You'll find that link below. And if you haven't watched my video on screens, kids, and vision development, I highly recommend starting there, because vision shapes far more than most people even realize.